Chimpanzees are known for having the clearest troop politics, which translates to a constant struggle for power. All male chimps want to be the boss, and when there's an opening in the top position, all the eligible males will try to take it. But while the strongest male will likely win a one-on-one contest, things get more complicated when other contenders join the fight. Since even if he is the strongest of them all, being a good leader requires knowing how to build alliances and not just throw your weight around. A coalition of 2 to 3 males is usually enough to overthrow an alpha, although in some cases, the ousted leader can be beaten to death. On average, adult male chimps will attempt to take over the troop once every 2 years. However, these power struggles don't always end in tragedy. Sometimes the former alpha simply gets kicked out of the troop and has to find a new one to join. And while it may seem that the defeated male would be at a disadvantage, things aren't always what they seem. You see, despite being highly dependent on their mothers for the first few years of their lives, female chimps reach sexual maturity around the age of 13 and they stay fertile throughout adulthood. This means that a mature female chimp could have children from multiple fathers. And since paternity isn't always clear-cut, a kicked-out chimp might actually have better access to females than the new leader. As a result, the deposed alpha will probably do better than most other males in the long run. Baboons also live in troops that can reach several hundred individuals. While the size of these groups makes it easier to hide among the crowd, it doesn't make it any less dangerous. Baboon society is highly stratified with several levels of hierarchy. At the top, we have the alpha male who must constantly fight to maintain his position. Battles between contenders can be prolonged and often end up causing serious injuries. Some baboons have lost their lives during leadership struggles. But unlike chimpanzees, baboons don't just rely on strength. They also use social strategies such as forming alliances with other males to gain power. Now, you might think that being a baboon is kind of like living in a gang where everyone is fighting to be the boss, but that's only half true. See, despite the high level of competition and violence among males, baboons live in matrilineal groups, meaning that females and their offspring stay together for life. Male baboons, on the other hand, will leave their birth group to find a new one to join, typically led by the dominant female. So while the alpha male is important for the troop's organization, the female's influence shouldn't be underestimated. In fact, researchers believe that females play a crucial role in deciding who becomes the next leader. To put it simply, the females choose the winner. That's why it's common to see the future alpha male spending time grooming and socializing with the females, hoping to earn their favor. Once the current leader is kicked out, the potential candidates start posturing and competing against each other. Eventually, one of them will emerge victorious and become the new alpha. And finally, let's talk about macaques, which include red-faced monkeys, Japanese macaques, and rhesus monkeys. These primates live in groups ranging from a dozen to around 40 individuals. Like baboons and chimps, macaques have very clear social hierarchies with the dominant male at the top. Disputes over leadership are common and often erupt into fights between contenders. These violent episodes can last for hours and leave deep scars on the participants. But once a new leader is established, the troop enjoys a period of stability until the next challenge arises. Even though male macaques tend to dominate the leadership positions, female monkeys also play a significant role in shaping the group's social dynamics. Sometimes they form their own factions within the troop, which can influence the outcome of leadership contests. For instance, female macaques can influence the outcome of a fight by siding with one of the contenders or by simply staying neutral. By supporting a particular male, the females effectively show their preference for a certain leadership style or strategy. This influence stems from the fact that females spend more time grooming each other than males, which strengthens their bonds and allows them to coordinate their actions more effectively. Additionally, females often have more extensive knowledge of the troop's environment compared to males who tend to focus on acquiring food through foraging and fighting. This knowledge gives the females an advantage when choosing which male to support in a leadership dispute. Consequently, the chosen male is more likely to succeed in leading the troop. In this way, female macaques indirectly determine who will be the next alpha male. So in a nutshell, chimpanzees and baboons are considered the two species with the most violent and complex leadership struggles. Their battles are brutal and relentless, involving a combination of aggression and political maneuvering, much like humans. Chimpanzees and baboons use strength, intimidation, and strategic alliances to gain power, displaying a remarkable understanding of social dynamics. Their fights are a testament to their strength, intelligence, and ruthlessness in achieving their goals. Meanwhile, macaques also have a hierarchical society with dominance struggles, but their conflicts are often followed by periods of stability, and female macaques play a significant role in determining the outcome of these disputes. Overall, the struggle for power among primates is a fascinating study of animal behavior, offering insights into the complexities of their social interactions and survival strategies. From the calculated moves of chimpanzees and baboons to the strategic influence of female macaques, these primates showcase the diverse ways in which animals navigate the challenges of living in groups and competing for resources. By observing and analyzing their behavior, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate strategies and adaptations that shape the natural world. But wait, before we wrap up, we need to set the record straight. Despite what the title might suggest, there's no single monkey species that has the most violent takeover attempts. The truth is that all monkeys experience internal conflicts. It's just that some species handle their issues in more violent ways than others. For example, squirrel monkeys experience internal conflict too, but their conflicts are resolved through displays of dominance rather than physical violence. Squirrel monkeys also use vocalizations and visual cues to establish and maintain their social status. During a conflict, a squirrel monkey may scream and bare its teeth to intimidate its opponent, while another may cower and turn away to show submission. Similarly, capuchin monkeys use a combination of aggression and appeasement displays to resolve conflicts within their groups. During a dispute, capuchin monkeys may growl, snarl, and bare their teeth to threaten their rivals. But they also engage in behaviors such as yawning and showing their belly to demonstrate submissiveness. Now, you might be thinking, well, humans also use language and gestures to resolve conflicts, so maybe we should be included in this list. And you wouldn't be wrong. But the point here is that there's a spectrum of behavior and different species use different strategies. Let me give you another example. Gibbon conflicts are generally less intense and are often resolved through displays of tolerance. Gibbons typically live in small groups and have a strict hierarchy, so conflicts usually arise when an individual tries to move up in the social ranks. In these cases, the disputants will typically use vocalizations and visual cues to communicate their intent and establish dominance. For example, a young male may start making loud calls and beating his chest to signal his readiness to challenge the dominant male. The dominant male may respond with aggressive vocalizations of his own, but physical violence is rare. Instead, the young male may back down, and the conflict is resolved without physical harm. Now, this is just a small sample of the many different ways that monkeys deal with their internal conflicts. And it's worth noting that even within a single species, there can be a range of behaviors. For example, while it's true that baboons generally use aggression to establish dominance, some groups may also use more subtle tactics, such as forming alliances or using social pressure. Likewise, while chimps may be famous for their ruthless takeovers, not all chimp groups are equally violent. The level of aggression can vary depending on factors such as group size, sex ratio, and resource availability. Ultimately, the study of primate behavior is incredibly complex, and there's still much that we don't understand about the factors that contribute to violence and aggression. However, by observing and analyzing their behavior, we can learn more about the factors that contribute to conflict and cooperation in both animal and human societies. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep producing quality content that brings the wonders of the natural world right to your fingertips. Don't forget to share your thoughts and comments below. Your engagement helps us grow and improve. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Who knows, you might just discover something amazing.